Time for Ring of Fire. Enough hemming and hawing. It's the round of 27 featuring finalists. Oh my god, there it is. Throwing up the intro. Time for Ring of Fire 4. Shut up, grass. Let's go. In the Southwest, we're going to have NoobOntheLoose in green playing as the Huns. Trundo in the East playing as the Franks in blue. And Qwyt in the North playing in red as the Berbers. Trundo is last year's Ring of Fire champion. Trundo is known as the 2K killer. He is mysterious. He is inexorable. He is unstoppable. And he is in probably his hardest matchup. Trundo excels in pitting high elo players against each other. But he's in a situation, I don't even know if I can recall, other than maybe the first round of Ring of Fire 3 last year, him being in before, where I think both of his opponents are under 2K. The last time he was in this situation was in the grand finals of Ring of Fire 3. Yeah. He might actually be the lowest elo here. We'll wait and see if we can get the moderator to set the elos for us, guys. I'm going to focus on casting here. Players are using their kings, so a reminder, kings ungarrisonable. You're joining us here for the tournament for the first time. Players can't put their kings in town centers, castles, transport ships. They have to stay loose and about. They have to be ungarrisoned, and that's not just a requirement of the tournament. That's actually modded into the game. We have a data mod courtesy of Char 42069, one of my moderators, that has made it so. NoobOntheLoose is 1100. You just keep going, Broccoli. It'll work one of these times. All right, we got it for now. That'll work. That'll do for now. Broccoli has an enemy in Nightbot, apparently. You are helping. Thank you. I'm unmodding everybody after Ring of Fire. Everybody. I hate pressure that I put on the mods. Unmoddering everybody. Anybody who still wants to be a mod, all I'll have to do is just like react to a post in Discord. But yeah, I don't like how I treat a lot of the mods. I have like this expectation that they're gonna help me, which is bad, because they're putting their own time and effort into helping me. I don't know how that happened or why it happened in my brain, but it did. You're dealing with a crisis. That's great, Alba. Every time I run into a thing that I require a moderator to do, I need to change that thing so that I can do it myself easier. That's my new philosophy. Ideally, the whole ELO thing will be automated. I don't know why. I don't know why Capture Rage doesn't do it. God. The info has to be stored in the game information somewhere, surely. Gold here for Qwyt. So gold's kind of really awkwardly positioned up against this wood line. And we've got side-ish berries. Starting to wall up. We can see we got like a 3 woodline Arabia here. Blue's got really forward gold next to a hill. So Trundo is going to have a strong inclination as the Franks to be castle dropping here. With forward stone, forward gold, forward stone. Trundo's going to need to go out. He can't just wall up. He's got 2 rear golds, but he's going to want stone. Green, meanwhile, also with super exposed stone and a kind of rearish gold and forwardish berries. Again, 3 woodline Arabia. Green's base kind of looks closable though, compared. Red's, I think red has the nicest looking base. So. One thing that Trundo's going to have to look out for, I was going to get to this, is that the players know this is our reigning champion and also that Trundo excels in playing this format. So his elo might be 1400. What is it? Is it 1400? It's 13 something? You know, elo seems low, but does not tell the whole story with Trundo, who knows how to play free-for-alls exceedingly well. Trundo found Green's king. Yes. And hits Feudal Age. Ooh, that timing. That timing. You know, as soon as you hit Feudal Age, the scout comes faster than the king. King is only the fastest unit in the game during Dark Age. I don't understand. Emperor Alisan, the elos up the top are accurate. You think they show it in 1v1 Rex next to score? I mean, then why not? It makes even more sense to show it in a free-for-all. And there's a happy little space for it right there. Sorry, I thought from the intro that Trundo was playing versus 2Ks the game. No, Emperor Alisan, if you listen to if you were listening carefully, I actually said the opposite. I said that Trundo is normally excels at fighting off 2Ks, and in this case, both of his opponents are lower elo than him. Although I think Qwyt right now is ranked higher. Yeah, right now Qwyt has a higher elo. Trundo's all-time high is like a 1490, I think. So that's what I meant, is that this is a case where Trundo's 2 opponents are going to be inclined to 2v1 him. And he's never really dealt with that, was my point, was what I was trying to get at. Trundo has 3 scouts. That can be all it takes to end a game here. Where's Green's king? It's under the town center. I mean, do you get 3 scouts and then you get the armor upgrade and then you go sniping, right? We have extra HP as the Franks on these scouts, don't forget. And Trundo's going to satisfy himself with hitting Noob's eco. Going to be an interesting game. Yeah, all 3 of these players beat out 2Ks to get to this point, too. It's easy to discount them and be like, oh, what? It's 3 1300s playing. But, I mean, all 3 of these players have taken 2Ks out. All 3 of them. So, it is what it is. Red's going to head over to Blue's base with a lion. Trying to save him. 2v1 on the lion. Lion goes down. All right. Trundo's got a little strike force prepped here. We're going to go to Green's point of view. Where's the spears? We've got 2 spears. Is 2 spears enough to stop 5 scouts from sniping a king? Noob is on the way to Castle Age. Naked FC from Noob? Wow. That takes some guts. Take some guts here, Noob. And here it goes. Trundo's going for the king, guys. Whoa. Just a little scary. I mean, I think you go for it. I think you get some scouts on the opposite side, and you go for it. I think an all-in feudal here could work. How close are we to Castle Age? Clicked in. I believe that was the click-in. I saw the click-in, right? Or am I nuts? I just saw the food drop. Maybe I'm nuts. Thought I saw the click-in. 5 scouts is a lot of food. Go hit the king. Trundo, you gotta go hit the king now. Send one scout in, pull the 3 spears away, and then dive. So, here we go. Okay. Wow. Trundo going right in with the king. We've been waiting to see this. This could be the first feudal king snipe. Trundo, get the king. Holy moly. Is he going to get it, guys? Trundo could get one of the earliest king snipes of the tournament, and he is. He's 2 hits away. And down goes the king. Wow. That is an insane king snipe. We've been waiting to see that all tournament. Is someone just run into the opponent's base and snipe their king? Absolutely insane. That is crazy. Trundo showing why he's the Wrang of Fire champion, guys. This guy is a treat to watch. And he's a player to watch, let me tell you. One to keep our eye on. He is gonna be Castle Age, right? Sometime soon. Needs to click in. If red all ends with knights, then the game ends. But red can see that. Yep, this is the thing the Berbers can do, guys. So Berbers have cheap stable units, all right? And what they can do is they can like 2, even 3 TC on 2 stables. Qwyt's 33 Vils, so maybe not 3 TCs right away. But in a moment, I think, we'll drop it over here on the gold. 4 forwards on this gold. Trundo is clicked up. So the question is, will Trundo make it up? And then is Trundo going to be able to 2v or 1v1 Qwyt? That's a pretty solid situation for Trundo. Because it really looked, I mean, we knew look, especially because, look, NoobOntheLoose was communicating with red. So they were totally planning on working together against Trundo. Playing open is incredibly risky. The advantage is that, okay, and I have to say, this is a mistake from Qwyt. Qwyt opened with camels. Camels, guys, camels suck, all right? They're just not very good units. They do one thing well. They counter knights. They can chase down scouts, sort of, but they're actually slower than scouts. That's the one thing that they kind of do okay. That barracks is going to get denied. Or is it? Is it 95%? 94%? Camels are good versus cav archers. Yep. That's like their one jam in life is to counter 2 types of cavalry in the game. Any other time, you should be making knights. These should be knights, for instance. Like 100%. There's no reason these should not be knights instead of camels. Maybe you can justify it a little bit because the camels are even cheaper than knights for the Berber. Then I would go 3 stable camels and not 2 stable camels. I think would make more sense. I don't know. I think if the Berber player had gone just 2 stable knights and just cranked knights out and focused on knights and upgrades, then I think Trundo would actually be dead. But because they opened camels, that gives Trundo a window to get back in. And we've got 3 barracks pikes with squires coming in. And now Trundo just has to win the night war here. Oof. Which is tricky against the Berbers. Like, I would take the Berbers in a Berber Frank matchup probably 100 times out of 100. Like, I would personally go with the Berbers over the Franks. The cheaper knights, man. Trundo feeding a couple vills. Gonna get another town center down in the north. We've got enough pikes to defend this, and we're not really being pressured yet. What do we got? We've got 6 knights, 4 camels versus 2 knights and 7 pikes. So a very winnable potential battle there for Trundo. Is that open? Ooh. I think that's open, guys. And Qwyt's going to lose a critical pair of knights here. Yeah, really could not afford to lose those knights at this stage of the game. Because now we've got, like, even numbers in terms of army. Like, if anything, this is a winnable fight for Trundo now. And if Quite feeds more knights, he's just not getting value out of these raids. Like, one villager just isn't worth it there, I don't think. The advantage is that Quite is 3 TC. Has an eco set already. Is his king in a cage. Trundo's king is at the back of his base. In a little, like, walled-in section. I'm sure some players were interested to see how Trundo was going to handle walling in his king. And Red has a proper, like, surround on his king, which we know is a decent idea. Because of the big hitbox on the king. If you build, like, a little 2x2 box, kings can get hit through the corners. The idle time is huge, huh? Yeah, this is like a traditional 1v1. So some of these stats are going to be important to keep an eye on. Right now, Quite has picked off 4 of Trundo's vills, and that's the entirety of... I was looking at NoobOntheLoose's idle TC time. Oh, Quite's idling quite a bit here. I don't think we need to. How can we? Why do we need to idle with 25 farms? You can go down to 1 stable, 2 stables. Also, I don't think that it was worth hiding our stables at the back of our base as the Berber. I'd rather have them like out here helping protect the gold or something. I don't know. Red wanted to go all in and boom at the same time. You can go, as the Berber, you can go 2 stable knights and throw down TCs. Where's boom? I need boom. You need like a boom emo for booming. Conversions would really help here. This is looking like Trundo's game. If he goes 4th town center. Oh my god, you blew up that cat. My god. Boom. That was the last thing those knights saw was 20 sharp sticks jabbing at him. Trundo needs a 4th and probably 5th TC at this point. Could afford it. If Trundo's like keeping track mentally, ooh, Knight's getting in somewhere good finally. We have a castle down from Red. That's actually kind of huge. Yeah, looking pretty good for Quite too. I mean, Quite's hasn't had any pressure on their base. It's clicked up to Imp. We have 6 knights still alive. We've got 4 camels. Trundo, we've got a 20 villager lead over Trundo. Trundo nowhere near to Imp. Trundo with less farms. Trundo still open. And Trundo's going to come forwards. Important NoobOntheLoose. He's going to have to sit and watch this whole fight. I think Trundo is going to see that castle and then try to work towards the Imp. That's the right call, right? Or do you boom? Do you boom up and then go Imp? You have to do one or the other. Right now, it looks like he's going to try and go Imperial Age. We are missing buildings. We've got Monastery. We need a Siege Workshop or a University. Exploratory Spear there. Don't forget, there's an entire 3rd player's worth of res just like chilling on the map too. There's almost an entire main gold right there. Camel archers at the bottom. No, I don't see any camel archers. Did I miss them? Trundo has his work cut out for him. It's funny how much that push on green seems to have hurt him. It's all snowballed from that push on green for Trundo, guys. The advantage of him going and taking out NoobOntheLoose is that if qwyt does lose this game, Trundo will be positioned well. Like, that's going to force NoobOntheLoose to work with Trundo next game. So he'll still be able to bring it back. So by killing green this game, where green and red were going to work on him, against him, he might have guaranteed that green works with him next game. So that's the, like, there's like multi-game strategizing that you have to do here when you're like in the middle of a game that you're playing. It's like, wait, is it worth it for me to attack this player or this player based on how next game and the game after that is gonna go for me? Like, Trundo might be trying to track down. Someone said there were camel archers sneaking down here. I think Trundo's trying to like see if there's any sneaks that are going to happen, because if the camel archers do come in, then it's going to end for Trundo real quick. As a matter of fact, if qwyt were to research treason, is Trundo up? Yes. Red, attack, please. No attack. Only defend. No attack. I mean, this is attacking. At least he's trebbing the castle. But, again, I emphasize how much treason would win red the game right now. If red loses the game, it's going to be because they did not research treason. Don't trickle. I mean, lots of people say not to trickle treb, but then also every pro will do exactly what red did here, which is get the trebs hitting as soon as you can. It's not the same as like fighting the Mongols, where you really can't afford to trickle treb. What are these walls, man? That castle's dead. It's dead in the water. Trundo hits imp though. I don't think pikes and cavalier are going to cut it against camel archer camel. I think we have to go only halb. I think you go halb siege. I wonder what Trundo is going to prioritize. He's still making knights. Red needs to push though. Trundo always plays the free-for-all odds. Trundo's win condition is siege tower, axeman, and a snipe. Trundo's win condition is to not lose cavalier in this forward stable next to these trebuchets. That legit might be GG right there. Yeah, that might actually be GG. He needed that cavalier upgrade. That might actually be it for Trundo. He desperately needed that cavalier upgrade to hit. These have bracer and chemistry. He needed that so bad. Yeah. Like, imagine if it's just about to hit right now. Then he can take this fight against the camels really, really well. And then he can go forwards and maybe... Yeah, that's so many camel archers, though. We only have 20 knights. And we have 10 knights queue. We got cavalier coming back in at 50%. Nice thing about the Franks, though, is they do have that faster working stable upgrade that they can get at the castle. This game is very, 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 very over. Trundo needs to snipe. Trundo needs axeman and a siege tower. Is what I'm starting to agree with here. Is unqueue everything and buy the axeman and the siege tower and just focus on protecting. He's gonna try and defend. Paladin could potentially do it still. No, did heavy camel come in? Yeah, no, we don't have any upgrades on them yet though. No upgrades on them. We're gonna come out and we're gonna snipe Treb. We only got 20 knights versus 40 camel archers. Is over. Trundo needs king snipe or GG. If he gets to 30 Cavalier and makes Onager or Capped Ram, maybe. But he still has to deal with heavy camel. So we need the pikes back. Or like some sort of crazy snipe attempt. It's looking pretty bad though, isn't it? Berbers, man. And we've got a dream. We've got a dream, guys. Is Quite the Smurf? Nope. Berbers are just crazy, and Quite's a 1400. And if there's one thing a Berber 1400 player knows how to do, it's make knights and camel archers. Yeah, we had a Treason research, and he's going to move out with the Petards and the Cavalier, and the game could end at any moment. If Quite researched Treason, the game would end at any point. But now he might be on his way. He's going to see this going. He's going to see the Cavalier going. He doesn't even need the Petards, guys. He might need them to get in there. But he legit does not even need the Petards. And now he's going to send 40 Cavalier to Quite's base. And Quite is going to pull back. I think he's going to try and keep pressuring. What he needs to do is go back with the heavy camels and stay forwards with the camel archers. Quite is full panic. Quite is full panic, guys. Trundo's going to break in with the Cavalier on the gate. Doesn't even need the Petards. If he can get the Petards there, though. Quite has a pretty good base around this. And does he have any throwing axemen? If the Petards come in... Okay, so what Trundo needs to do now is just, like, run. Run away. Pull everything away. Pull it over here. And then bring the Petards in, right? Can he make this happen? No. No, the camel archers are going to pick the Petards off. Trundo needs 4 cav archers. Always have cav archers. This is what we're learning. Always need a ranged unit. Trundo's got to be just killing himself right now. He's like, no, the win is 1 tile away. I could make the comeback happen, but I'm 1 tile away from it. Crazy. He's got no army left after this, and he's going to call GG. Trundo knows when a game is over, too. And Quite is going to take game 1. Throw your sword, stupid knights. Why didn't he use the vaunted Frank cav archers? If these 2 Petards... I don't even know. If the Petards were throwing axemen, I think the camel archers still would have shot them down. He needed cav archers mixed in with the Cavalier. The thing is, guys, Trundo learns. Trundo learns. All right. Getting pinged. One moment here. Franks died at both enemy civs, and they were planning to 2v1 him either way. Yeah. Don't think he could have won this game in any scenario possible. I don't know if Trundo would have preferred NoobOntheLoose, but, I mean, that definitely is a candidate for King Snipe of the tournament, if nothing else. I think that's the first feudal King Snipe. We had one other feudal King Snipe, right? That was the first really, like, not like a mistake. That was like Trundo went with a purpose to kill a king and got it. Did I miss anything in the stats? I'm kind of like a buzz from that game. I'm all a buzz. What relics? Did anybody get a relic? Trundo got a relic. Thing is, last year Trundo was an excellent, exceeded at building the base for the Wonder. We were kind of hoping to see that translate over to building the King Pens. But Quite's going to take this one. And I'm going to load up game 2 right away. So Qwyt won game 1. Qwyt's going to get to pick the map for game 2. And they are going to enclosed. Was NoobOntheLoose the Skirm King kill? I feel like it was the accidental Skirm King kill on Socotra. I think that was Noob's win. And here we go. Game 2 of Trundo versus Qwyt and NoobOntheLoose. We've got Trundo in the west this time, playing in blue as the Magyars. Noob still in green in the Mongols, as the Mongols in the north. And Qwyt in the southeast in red, playing as the Portuguese. Mongol has been a very, very common pick. So have the Portuguese. Magyars, I wonder if Trundo's going to go for another King Snipe. Maybe on Qwyt this time. I mean, maybe Trundo's plan all along was to snipe one of each opponent in the first 2 games. This map is full CA map. 8 CA and Castle Age has the potential to end the game quite easily. And we do have 2 Cavalry Archer civs. Portuguese, I don't know what the deal is with that on this map in particular. They have access to Praetorias. They have fairly open tech tree. They can go like upgraded Cavaliers. They've got Arbs, organ guns as their unique unit. And Mongols, of course, with the Mangadai and the faster firing Cav Archers. Noob is pushing in some deer with his king. I don't understand. What's been my favorite map so far? Marketplace is made for some interesting games. This time around, Marketplace has been a fun ad. Definitely makes sense with the 1v1v1 format. Hamburger. I'm saying hamburger broccoli. Socotra's been pretty good, but hamburger's been the best. Hamburger's where all the insanity happens with the transports and the snipes you don't expect and the sudden endings of games. Yeah, hamburger's been pretty excellent. You've never been on enclosed before, guys. You have this ring that goes around the outside that you can't build on. There's tons of extra res. In particular, lots of two-tile stones everywhere. What? Who's attacking who? Why do I hear an attack sound? You guys heard an attack sound too, right? Amazon Tunnel's been really good too, tissue paper. Really glad that we put that one in. The Onager cuts. The thing is, it just takes so long for Amazon Tunnel to ramp up. I wish we could have like a Amazon Tunnel Socotra. Imagine like Forest Nothing All right, we got maybe Michi next time. I wonder how Michi spawns with 3 players. We could make like a hamburger that doesn't have water. It could be interesting. Like it's just like imagine like I'm thinking Socotra. All maps will be like Socotra likes, so everything will be smaller. And then you have like all the wood in the middle on Socotra instead, splitting them up like hamburger. I think that could be good. team islands you have to land to snipe. I don't know if I dislike water maps heavily. I think one of the best parts of this tournament has been the very limited amount of water. I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts on that one. On the schedule today, by the way, we've got the Survivalist set. Is that TRM Survivalist ARG? We have Tato's set versus Folkhorn, and I think that's today, right? Who's he playing? Mr. NVM and Folkhorn Kex. And we got one other game. Oh, Jamjack versus Teutonic Tanks and Ensberg, I believe, today too. 2 live sets that are happening at the same time, so we'll probably pick one, and it'll probably be Tato's set. And then we also have one more set of recs other than this one. So lots of content. We're here all day. Hybrid maps are good, but full modern maps won't encourage regicide play. Yeah. I think the coolest thing is the early king snipe attempts. I want more maps that encourage that. Maps like Enclosed and Amazon Tunnel are designed to trick the arena players into signing up for the tournament. And also just to give, like, map type variety. Arena and regicide with these settings too often turn into having nothing to do with sniping the king. Burn. Whoop, there was a burn. I'm just trying to trick the arena players into signing up for my tournament, that's all. Qwyt hits Feudal Age. Everybody's closed in. Hence the name, Enclosed. It's kind of similar. It's kind of funny how similar everyone's bases are. Qwyt has their barracks on the outside. I actually like this. It's going to be close to our berries and our gold, which are both going to be exposed. We have stable going down too. You'd think maybe a good feudal dive would have a chance, and we've seen people get close with archers. But it's so trapped in here, you have very little maneuvering room that you can't, like, hem the king in. You have to walk through, so you need quite an archer mass to actually, like, walk through the archers. Maybe skirms. Imagine an all-in skirms on this map. And somehow you break in, like 3 men-at-arms and, like, 20 skirms. You break in the gate, and then you just, like, dive the TC. I wonder if there's potential for that. Wrath, can you stick the elos on the overlay? I think those are still right. Yep, those are correct. Thanks you, M. Thank you, M. Thanks you, M. Totten. I'm gonna stick with thanks you. That sounds like what the kiddos would say. Khmer ballista cut with archers waiting outside. Don't worry, this format will be run again. Ungarrisonable Kings 1v1v1 will make a return. There might be tweaks here and there. We might have different some little setting changes or maps, new maps. But this tournament has been so much fun. There's no way I'm not going to cast these settings again. Qwyt has come to pressure Trundo. So Qwyt's making an enemy early here. Not sure if that's a good idea. We haven't seen any communication at all this game. Green might be playing this one safe. They just got sniped by Trundo last game, so maybe they aren't inclined to work with Trundo. They should be, though, because if Qwyt wins, then Noob loses. And Trundo loses, so they should be very inclined to work against the one player that already has a victory. Ooh, Trundo feeding a spear there. Not great. That is a lot of scouts. Takes guts to go scouts against the Magyars. Trundo is up to Castle Age. Trundo went with the FC this time. 5 scouts can kill 1 spear, but they have to be noticed by their owner. Yeah. Careful, Trundo, you're open over here. how to get banned from Wrang's channel in 5 easy steps. Step 1. Redeem a meme at a random time for no conceivable reason, just to irritate everyone on my stream. Step 2. Do it several times. Make sure you use the same joke each time so that it gets progressively funnier each time you do it. Step 3. Make an alternate account after you're banned and then do the whole thing again. Step 4. Continue to be an unfunny Step 5. Congratulations, you've been banned. I'm Wrang, and this is how to get banned on Wrang's channel using fun memes. Ugh. Thank you, Twitch chat. Getting roasted by other memes. When one meme gets roasted by other memes, that's pretty great. Enjoy the peaceful tranquility of being banned in our special ban room. What mode you playing, bro? This is called Capture Age, your mom pool boy. This is we're casting a set. This is a tournament that I'm casting. This is a 1 versus 1 versus 1 free-for-all mode with ungarrisonable kings. So kings can't be garrisoned in buildings. And if they lose a king, then they're automatically eliminated. And welcome to the channel. Qwyt here in red is playing as the Portuguese. They're pressuring blue, who's our reigning champion from last year. Yes. And Qwyt actually is currently 1 up. So I think if I'm Qwyt, I'm going to try and kill Trundo. Actually, I think this is a great call from red. Just to you, Trundo. Now I have time to write more. Time for revenge. Okay. Following, thanks for the explanation. Have a free explosion. You want to watch some Age of Empires too, you can sit down and relax. Anyway, you got some decent content. We have some pro players coming up later. These all 3 of these players actually beat pro or high level players to get to this point. This is the equivalent of the quarterfinals. Another one. Winner gets into the semis, which is like the round of 9 technically. What are we talking about? Revenge for what? Last game. Noob. You realize that oh man, poor Trundo. Trundo's gonna get noob meted. Trundo's gonna get like revenged out of the tournament because he went and sniped Noob on the first game. And then if Noob decides to attack Trundo, then it's just gonna end. Like the game will end, and red will move on to round 2 or to round 3. Pardon me. That's just the way it's going to be. Green's building a king snipe cage. Very appropriate redeem. It's really... it's really... I made it so it's not that hard to be funny with the memes either. Like... like, I'm not taking a shot at Lucanna. That was a pretty simple joke. But also, like, it's pretty good. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Compared to the always appeared joke that what's his name always makes, like, wrecked. Emotional, damn it. Learn to laugh at the simple things in life, because those happen way more often than the complicated, intricate jokes. And yeah, that's good timing with Noob is definitely on the loose. No, that was a good joke. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It was simple, but it wasn't, you didn't have to think too hard about it. It wasn't trying to be clever. It was just as clever as it appeared to be. It was great. Perfect. Good job. Red's gonna find out about the Cav Archers with this scout. Like, it's, guys, if you're like, oh no, I'm gonna get banned if I use a meme. No, you're not. Even if you make a bad joke, I will not ban you. But if you repeatedly make the same bad joke over and over and over again, then yeah. Like I've called him out for making that one before. I feel now I'm like giving a big long explanation. I'm thinking about it way too much. Look at this horse's ass. You only get the butt. Okay, no, he turned. You ruined it, Red. This map cries out for petards and knights. If green had 2 petards right now, the game would end. Isn't that how you made your name on Twitch? Thanks, Ross. What's green scouting info look like? Green is so focused on Trundo, it's ridiculous. Mongols are crazy on almost every map in the tournament, Emperor. They're crazy on this mode. Uh-oh. Trundo's gonna get 2v1'd. Okay, so it looks like Rang of Fire 5 might need to be hidden Rang of Fire. So that poor Trundo doesn't get targeted next time. Green is going to keep an eye on... Green's going to see red coming to attack blue. He's going to spot the attack from red on blue. That's actually amazing scouting from green. Because now he knows that red is hitting green. So now green knows. Like, if I'm green, I'm like, okay, I don't have to do anything now. Like, you could even think about going to red. 2 petards from Noob on red would take red out of the game. And that's a lot better position for green. It's hard to be a reigning champion. On this mode, it is. It's definitely going to be working against Trundo. Last time, Trundo had definitely had the unknown... Like, last time he was playing 2Ks, he was a nobody. I'm sorry, Trundo, but he was nobody. He had never won a tournament. He'd never entered any of my tournaments, I don't even think. Totally new to the format. Like, no one had any idea who Trundo was. This year, literally everyone knows that he excels at taking out high elo players. That's his jam. And he got away with it round 1, but... How many town centers is that? This time it looks like he's decided to try and boom up. He's going to get that 4th TC down.
Jeff's here and he looks like he's got something to say.
Man, I wish I had a magic spell that could make chat's jokes smell better than my farts. But I don't. And they stink. Okay, the last thing I wanted to hear about was an old wizard's farts. Oh, trust me, I know. I know. That was complaining about that and suggesting it should be like Hidden Cup. I think it makes more sense for my tournament to be Hidden Cup than all right, those are dead. I don't know what the plan was with those. Randomize it at 27, not 81. We could I mean, once they're... Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. But why? YouTube thumbnail incoming. But why? Trundo has more villagers than red. Have I talked about relics yet? There's one here between red and green. Or red and blue, pardon me. And there's one here between blue and green. And I think, did green snatch one up already? Green's playing really good. I'm sure green is stoked about not losing their king in the first 18 minutes of the game.
And another one.
18 players go straight into round of 21. Red keeps redeeming the same meme music. He should be banned. This is low-key one of my favorite tracks now. That was me trying to find a replacement theme song for the Conan O'Brien theme for the opening of the Grath Late Show. That was what that was. Uh-oh, Trundo's got his own batch of Cav Archers. We've got a double-layered wall with dual castles. So Noob definitely has the most secure king at this point. But if I'm Trundo, I'm the least concerned about Noob. I'm the most concerned about Qwyt. Qwyt's got a fairly defensible... Like, if Trundo... And the interesting thing is that Qwyt decided to build the castle on Trundo's side. Not on NoobOntheLoose's side. Noob, I will contend till the end of my days that were they to have made petards when I suggested, or were they to make petards now, that the game would end in a better fashion for Noob than otherwise. Noob's army composition is stationary defense. I mean, these aren't stationary. Look at him go! Look at him go! Look at him go! Who hit Imp? Green hit Imp. Is building a 4th siege workshop. I don't know why. Why? Rastafarian. Good morning. Thank you for crabifying me.
Rastafarian forced 420 yum to consume the Wrang juice. Rastafarian gifted a tier 1 sub to 420 yum. They have given 147 gift subs in the channel.
Fun fact, I have it on good authority that if your name has a 420 in it, that you're way more likely to get a gift sub from Rastafarian. I have no idea why. Thank you very much, Resto. Looks like a ram push. Thank you very much again, Resto. Much appreciated. One day the alerts won't be horribly glitched. We'll call that alerts aren't glitched day. Thank you for supporting the channel. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. We have got a king in the middle of a base. We've got a king in the middle of a base, and we've got a king in a corner inside of a fortress. We've got Elite Mangadai coming in. We've got Siege Ram. And it looks like NoobOntheLoose is just going to, as quickly as he can, make Siege Ram Mangadai drill. Siege Ram, Elite Mangadai, and drill. NoobOntheLoose is playing really well. This is getting insane. This will be hard to stop for any player that plays Age of Empires 2. It is approaching that point. If we get another, like, 10... If this gets up to 40, 50 Mangadai, then they might just lose because Mongols are such a strong post-imp civ. Like, I'm not even joking. Mongols are a great pick for a low elo. Mangadai upgrades. We've got Elite Mangadai. We've got Bracer. And that would be Bracer. Is it range? We have the range upgrade? Yeah, this is Bracer. So I think we're still missing Chemistry. I believe we're still missing Chem. But, I mean, there's no real rush for NoobOntheLoose. Research is Treason. I mean, and one Onager cut could end the game here. Ross Michaels dropping a sub to Emperor Al Hassan. Thank you very much, Ross Michael. Much appreciated. I heard mass death. Did Noob delete some villas to make room for army?
Ross Michael forced Temporal Hassan to consume the
Chemistry and
juice.
Parthian, thank you.
Ross Michael gifted a tier 1 sub to Emperor Al
Much
Hassan.
appreciate the support,
They have
guys.
given 58 gift subs in the channel.
Do I have any programs I can... I'm going to close Discord. And see if that gets us a little bit of extra breathing room with my PC.
I gotta tell you, this is pretty terrific.
Yo, 420 Yum Yums dropping 50 bits. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Everything is dying.
420 Yum Yum cheered Dex 52.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. How many windows can I close?
Ristofarian forced Cray 23 to consume the Wrang juice. Ristofarian gifted a tier 1 sub to Cray 23. They have given 149 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you very much, Resto. Here come the siege rams from NoobOntheLoose. They're gonna eat the town centers. This is comical. Oh, this is a distraction. This is a sick distraction. What? And NoobOntheLoose is gonna try to chop to Trundo. We'll go to Trundo's point of view because this is a full-on king snipe attempt. Blue is bringing the Cav Archers across to the siege rams, and they are not gonna notice the cut. What a sick play from NoobOntheLoose. Whoa. And the Mangadai are going to run in and snipe the king in a minute. They're still not through. There's the final chop. And here come the Cav Archer. Or no, these are elite Mangadai. Trundo is running the king. He notices. King is running. And he will save the king. Wow. What a sick play by NoobOntheLoose. Absolutely crazy attempt. One of the crazier plays we've seen. I can't believe how close that got. The king might run into the siege rams. Okay. Wait, is a king faster than a siege ram? Barely faster than a Mongol siege ram. Noob needs to get his units over there. Oh! Cav Archers were almost hit by the onagers here.
Look at all this damage, and we're gonna repair it using flex shot.
I don't even know. Trundo is just getting devastated by NoobOntheLoose right now. And he's on the hunt for the king. Trundo is in trouble. This is an insane play from NoobOntheLoose against our reigning Rang of Fire champion. Noob has that king completely cornered. Trundo is going down, and the only way Trundo is going to stay in Rang of Fire now is if NoobOntheLoose can kill qwyt. And Noob has a very formidable army. It should have no problem dealing with the ARBs from the Portuguese player, who's quickly going to have to get some Lombard cannons out.
I know.
Or this is going to go sideways. What a play from NoobOntheLoose. Absolutely insane. Can we see the hypes in chat? Yes, thank you, Emperor Al-Hassan. You get the Grath hypes going now with the sub there, Emperor Al-Hassan. We are almost at a hype train, by the way. Aside, just talking Twitch things. Now that sequence is over, and I want to thank everybody who supported us to get us this close to the hype train. You guys are champs. Much appreciated. The hype train is very well timed with the hype in game, I gotta say, as that is absolutely sick from NoobOntheLoose. Searching for it. It's Grath hype. Oh yeah, there's a new emote, by the way. It's terrible, but it exists. It is a Rang of Fire 4 emote. We do have one. I tried resizing that 20 different times. It's the best I could get it to look. The only thing I could have done is change the middle number to a different color, but then it looks bad in other ways. So, where did NoobOntheLoose's Mangadai go? Oh, they're all the way over here. They're all the way over here. That trebuchet needs to die. Treb needs to die. This wins. I mean, NoobOntheLoose's army just straight up just wins here, right? Portuguese do have cheaper gold units. Oh, we need to not fight under the castle. We need to not fight under the castle. We need to fight with all of our army and not under the castle. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing these things? Stop doing these things, please. I'm not watching. More onagers, please. Resto's dropping a sub to Ham Monkey. And that's your 150th gift sub. That's 150 gift subs for Restafarian, man. Thank you so much. I don't know why the crab didn't activate that time.
Christopharian gifted 1 Vax of Wrang juice.
Okay, but this... We could have won the fight if we had fought like that with all of our army the first time, or if we had siege rams. This is really frustrating to watch. Noob, now is the time to focus on army, my dude. I don't know what eco you're doing that's making you ignore this, but you need and this is the point of the game where you should be looking to improve. If this is what's happening, is you need to focus on getting better with control groups. Oh my god, why? Better army control is so needed here. This game is very winnable. Oh, Onager shot. Speaking of better army control, Red's gonna lose their whole art mass. Oh my god. And these are drill Onagers. Whoa. There's no way Noob should lose this, right? Why did Noob attack Trundo? Because Trundo sniped Noob's king in the first game. And Noob is playing for the lulz? I don't know.
It's still good.
It's good.
I know.
They're confident that they can take out qwyt with Mongols post-imp. Oh, we need better army control. Oh, we need better army control. Oh, come on. Come on, we should be winning this. We need to practice. We need better macro when we're focusing on our army. We need to get better at macroing without going over here and clicking all of the things that we're probably clicking. And we need to do everything by hotkeys instead. I can tell by the way this is being played that we're not watching the army the whole time. At this point, your macro should be set, and you just are hotkeys to make army. We should still win this. Portuguese are every civil struggle against Mongols post-imp. But now it's going to come down to, can qwyt make something happen? Qwyt needs skirmishers. Needs skirms. This number of Mangadai will not die to anything but skirms. And even then, I don't even know, man. Because then they have the siege onagers. Well, they aren't siege onagers yet. Noob should cut through the forest. Yeah, he can use Treason is the name of the tech in the castle available in Imp that reveals the location of the king. What it actually does is it shows the 4 tiles underneath the king. So if the player like grabs the king and then micros it off, you'll see the king run off the 4 tiles. Yeah, Noob's gonna go for a little snipe action here, guys. It's Treason in English. Yeah. Spies is the other tech, and Spies shows you how many, like, the location of everything. That's the more expensive one. It'll show you where all the villagers are. It gives you the enemy's line of sight. Sending only 10 Mangadai. What's Red's line of sight over here, though? They'll have pretty decent line of sight. And Green's going to need to try to... I think Green could just take this fight. Green can just take this fight. Green needs to not over micro. I like that we're sniping the Trebs. Oh my god, we're sniping the Trebs. That was kind of crazy. Red is pressuring this side at the same time. Green is going to rebuild that castle right there. We did lose a lot of our Mangadai. We still have not started cutting in the center. Red's coming in the back with the Cavalier, but Green is super protected, the King. King is not in trouble at all for Green. I think Noob should have ignored the trebuchets there and attacked the army because he had the fight with the army. We keep attacking the Trebs. Bro, I know you're Mongols and you need your castles, but you don't... If all of this is a holding action to get to this cut, then great. But that should have already happened by this point. It should already have happened. This is taking too long. All right. And now we don't have Mangadai here. Now we do need like 3, somewhere between 3 and 6 of them. Red should be able to see the cut happening. Yeah, Red's going to see this cut. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go, go, go. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Gotta get that cut. Gotta make the cut. Gotta make the cut. What the f? He cut the what are you doing? Cut the thing. You gotta cut the thing. Why aren't you cutting the thing? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, cut the forest. Oh my god, Noob on the Loose, cut the forest. You are killing me this game, man. Cut. Shoot the thing. Why aren't you shooting the thing? Shoot the thing. Shoot the thing. Just shoot it. Why aren't you shooting it? Shoot the thing. Shoot it. Why aren't you? He shoots the thing. It's open. He's going to run in with the Mangadai. Finally. Red is still pushing. Red still hasn't reacted. The Mangadai are running in. Are we going to get the snipe that Noob got denied the first time? Here they come. The Mangadai are in. And Noob on the Loose is going to get the king. Thank God. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. It actually happened. Thank God. We had the low elo double snipe.
Nice.
It happened.
Nice. 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 Nice.
All right, now that's how a game of Ring of Fire 4 should end. Noob on the Loose. I screamed at him for 3/4 of the game.
Wipe yourself off, man. You dead.
Noob almost made me quit Age of Empires. How pissed would you guys have been if he didn't get that snipe? It was right there for so long. I would have lost my mind if he lost this game, guys. My brain would have just like I would have shredded everything on my desk. I would have just been shredded. Okay. We gotta go back and watch. We got some moments that we gotta go back and watch the lead up to the Blue King snipe. Because Noob on the Loose did this twice this game, guys. Noob had a plan, and his plan went great. It actually did. So we have the chop in here, but while he's doing this, he's got a full distraction tactic on Blue. Like actually 200, 300 IQ plays from Noob on the Loose here. Pulls over the entire mass. This 100% works. Blue only barely notices and pulls the king out. But the pressure from Noob is just so intense that Trundo struggles anyways. And Noob just this insane amount of chaos. Wow, look at all the bills he killed. Didn't even notice him micro the Mangadai back in the middle of all this. As we were watching the Onagers creep on the Cav Archers. There's actually like so many sick plays here in a few seconds from Noob on Loose. It's crazy. He played this game so well. Look at the big archers. Look at the big Onager shots on the Cav Archers, guys. Look at him like trapping the Cav Archers as he's going for the snipe. Absolutely insane plays here from Noob on the Loose. Who eventually he tracks this king down. Nah, this is 10 out of 10 from Noob, this snipe. 100% works. And then it just took way too long for snipe number 2 to happen. He almost throws, quite frankly. Like, this takes so long. It brings it all the way over here to start pressuring. Maybe he didn't feel like trying to pressure through Blue's base. And this entire... when does this... Like, these Onagers could have been chopping right now. Like, right this second. Everything from this point forwards in the game is now just like... Now, I guess you could argue that taking all the attention over here maybe was needed. But you can tell he was thinking about it, guys. Alright, Noob was thinking about this for a long time. This is on fast forward. Alright, there it is. And then this. Alright, there it is. Maybe he was waiting for the absolute perfect moment. And that's the double king snipe from Noob on the Loose. And that's going to force a game 3 here. As Noob's going to take game 2, guys. No, score R1, pardon me. Not game as victory 1, not victory 2. There we go. And now Trundo, our reigning Wrang of Fire 4 champion, is he has to win this game. He's in a must win. He has no choice. Are there any stats that actually hold on? Are there any stats we want to see from that game? Look at Qwyt with the definite KD victory. But Noob with the Siege Ram push. And Relics. He played so well this game. For all I was screaming at Noob to pressure when they needed to pressure, he played so well. And managed to avoid the throw even with the elo deficit. So really well played by Noob. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Let me get game number 3 loaded up. That's got to be both of those snipes like together. Definitely going to be a candidate for King Snipe of the tournament for sure. Definitely up there. And what? Noob has picked a very interesting map for game number 3. So interesting. And I'm going to hit the tunes here. Because it's time for game 3 of this set between Trundo, qwyt, and NoobOntheLoose. And we are on Socotra! Noob's going to be in the west playing as the Khmer in green. Getting instant loom. Red in the north. Going to be playing as the Mayans. And Trundo in the east. Going to be in blue playing as the Spanish. Blue and red are positioned close to each other. And this is gonna be a contentious battle. I foresee an ugly feudal age. And sometimes it's worth throwing everything to the Socotra gods. I think NoobOntheLoose is gonna come out ahead of this one. The only thing is that NoobOntheLoose's res are all really, everybody's res is so forwards. Blue has a safe gold. Red has safe stone and safe gold if they wall properly. And then they're going to have an ugly fight probably. I mean, if red walls out here, that's a mixture of great and terrible because a single tower will take out so much gold and berries for Trundo. This is an ugly game. Ugly game. If I'm Trundo, I'm FC Castle Drop conks all day. Trundo on the back foot. Yes, in the semifinals of last year against the 2-2Ks, he was down in the exact same situation as he is now and managed to come back. I believe did it begin with a Socotra? Trundo on Socotra is kind of scary. I don't know. He hasn't shown us all that much this set, has he? He had a little bit going on in game 1, but then game 2, it was all NoobOntheLoose. This has been one of the better sets in terms of intrigue. Maybe not in terms of raw Age of Empires 2 skill on display, but in terms of like intrigue and drama, this has been really good. Way more fun than 2K battles. These low elo guys. They're a lot better off in tournaments with weird settings. I mean, you can definitely see how important it is to be like to have that raw skill. So many high elo players have made it through. But at the same time, the knowledge of the meta is very, very, very important. You've played a ton of free-for-all games. If you've played a ton of Regicide King Snipe type modes, then you know. If you know, you know. Wrath Meltdown. That's going to be a pretty great clip. I think Trundo's King Snipe and Feudal made him fall behind in game 1 and a target in game 2. So maybe not a good strat. You could definitely see there was he needed to double King Snipe. You need to have a plan for, if you're going to go for the King Snipe, you got to have a plan for the follow-up. That's what we've learned. And I don't know if Trundo had a plan for the follow-up that just didn't happen or what. My nose is very itchy right now. We had a warm day following a cold day. Normally my nose goes nuts when that happens. I'm trying very hard to just scratch the outside of it so I'm not gross on camera. Someone's going to clip it and say, Grath picks nose, and then post it on Reddit. Then I'm going to walk in downtown and put me on a billboard. Oh! He couldn't resist, I guess. I mean, there is a $250 King Snipe bounty. That one was a pretty good one, too. In game 1. Careful. Careful, quiet. Okay, we're pushing deer. We're pushing deer. Kings are having a meeting here in the middle. I think Noob was wondering where all of his deer went. And the answer is Red was pushing it. How close to Castle Age is Blue going to be? That's my actual question. Monday? We don't really have tons of food. Wasn't sure whose was it. Yeah, sure. Actually, maybe. That might have been both of their deer patches the way this is looking. He got greedy when he saw Huns and no walls. I mean, I think he could have got away with that. I want to say he could have got away with 3 scouts, but he would have had to micro a bit better, so I don't know. Because he lost 4 of the 5 scouts, I think, that he dove the town center with to get the King Snipe. I mean, maybe if Trundo had walled and just gone for a bit longer of a feudal age, he might have been okay. But I think the feudal King Snipe was really nice to see. That's going to be a definite candidate for King Snipe of the tournament. And so that's what we've been hoping to see all tournament, is at least one feudal King Snipe. So I'm pretty happy. Like, the viability of it has been demonstrated. I feel like in the hands of a pro, the build that Trundo attempt. What? Did the data mod break? Oh, they told me this happened. They told me that they had forgotten the data mod for this game, but that it didn't affect anything because they used the Ring of Fire map. The map scripting still worked. The only thing that doesn't work is the kings are able to garrison, but they told me that it didn't factor in the game. I was told that it did not factor in when I was asked to make an admin ruling. I'd forgotten about this. Technically, they can garrison, but they won't. Players are trying to get their walls up. We'll see. If it factors in at all, Wrang will bust out the admin hammer. The admin hammer has been swinging quite vociferously.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Hey, Google, define vociferously. In a loud and forceful manner. Damn it. I don't think that quite works. Players all have king pens assembled. Blue with one that kind of traps their king in a very limited area. Red's got a bit more mobility here and some options. So we don't like these style of king pens on Socotra. We like this style of king pen. Learning new words today. Forceful or in a loud, forceful manner is what vociferous is. I remember as a kiddo, my grammar was so bad, but my vocabulary was so good. I would know words, but like and how to use them, but then putting them in a sentence that actually makes sense, I would struggle with. Typical Wrang behavior. I'm like a baby trying to wield a greatsword. Trundo's smacking some scout. I wonder if Trundo will be willing to work with Noob this game. Noob with like the total wildcard move last game that actually paid off. We've seen it before, man. That crazy style. Honestly, shades of Murphy from last year. Murphy played a few games last year with that kind of off-the-cuff, insane style. Why is there a green villager all the way over here, Vat? Imagine if he'd gotten the green walled in and started throwing down a tower. I guess blue would have had to counter tower, but what, like, how did this villager get all the way over here? Noob's going for the Viper walls. Is Noob on the loose secretly the Viper? Alright, we're gonna lose the Vil though. The Vil wall in by the 1100 was pretty great. It was pretty great. Oh no! He accidentally deleted the villager! Noob on the Loose technically took this villager out because Trundo accidentally deleted it. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Yeah, for real. Walled his Vil. Noob on the Loose is the equivalent of, you know that meme with the golden retriever? That's like, got like a beaker in front of it? Noob on the Loose is the chemistry golden retriever.
Yes.
Not happy about this king garrisoning, but green is closed. It's not affecting the game right now. We're going to see if this factors in at all. I mean, but then the mental security of having your king garrisoned. No, we are not happy with this data mod not being used. If it affects the game in any way, the admin hammer is going to swing fiercely and swiftly. The players did agree that it didn't affect the outcome of the game. This much I know. It hasn't yet. That's pissing me off. This is upsetting me.
Right to jail, right away.
My bad. I definitely enabled it for the last game. Maybe the data mod reset. I'm not sure what to do. Let's continue with our garrisoning. Nothing else seemed different that I noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed any. The res was all the same. There was no starting castle. As long as they don't actually garrison the king in anything, then it should be exactly the same as the normal settings. This is actually probably the best case scenario for having the data mod not enabled. Like, actually. That being said, read the handbook! Practice making the settings. How do the players select Civ? Septic, it's hidden Civ, no repeat Civ. So once a Civ's been used in that set, no one can select it again for any remaining set. Or pardon me, for any remaining game in that set. So if so we had Mongols used in game 1, then they can't use Mongols again. Wait a minute, didn't quite use Mayans? Didn't we already have Mayans once?
Bruh.
Didn't he use Mayans in game 1, guys? It's okay because that's not on admin. Last year we made it that admin.
Well, we're boned.
No, I'm wrong. No Mayans yet. Mayans was the warm-up game? Ah, that's what I'm remembering. I'm remembering the warm-up game at the start of the stream. Thank you, chat. All right. Well, either way, I've made it so that's out of admin's control as well. The players have to notice that one of the opponents used the Civ and then call them out for it. There is one nice thing about having 3 players when you organize a 1v1v1 that I'm going to reveal my secret to how I'm able to admin Rangifier for, okay, guys? They police each other. Oh no, RGB Grath is broken. Disable that. When you have 3 players, in a set like that, they each one of them they police the game themselves. Like you have someone to fact check the other person to hold them accountable. It's great. It seriously is great. It makes it really easy to admin. Wrang's secret technique for adminning a tournament single-handedly. There's a moderator, or pardon me, there's a mod you can download from the workshop, GM Septic, that'll show you how to do that. I believe you can just type, if you just type in 0 empires into the mod workshop, it'll come up. Admin hammer averted. I called the tower right here, by the way. I called the crap out of this tower. It just came from red instead of blue. Red went out and got that really essential wall down. Yeah, self-regulation, best regulation. You can't pull any kind of shiesty business because there's 2 people monitoring you. There's a neutral third party in any dispute between any 2 players. By default. It's great. So what is the meta on the 3rd set? If you're either of the players with 1 victory each, then you're going to try and sneakily take out Trundo. Also, a lot of times the elo spread matters quite a bit in the 3rd set, and the perceived skill difference. I'm kind of surprised by the pressure from qwyt. I think qwyt feels like NoobOntheLoose won't be as much of a threat this game. And is, again, pressuring Trundo. The alternative is that... this doesn't make sense. This has been a very off-meta set, quite frankly. Talking about how to play the meta... almost doesn't make sense here. Because NoobOntheLoose went off meta last game, everything is just out the window now. Because you don't know what green's gonna do. And you don't know, and you don't know what blue's gonna do because they're Trundo. This is just really like a broken meta set for the tournament. So this is particularly strange. It doesn't make sense for red to pressure blue, okay? The score is 1-1-0. The 1 should, in no situation, ever be pressuring the 0, I don't think. Unless they think they can snipe. While getting a minimum amount of damage themselves. And that's almost certainly not the case. If red tries to snipe blue, I can see it as being fairly likely that green will kill red. That's what I think. And then, yeah, if you start thinking meta, the actual, like, normal age meta, what do Mayans have against Khmer? Yeah, it's 2v1 on Trundo right now again. The players are reading into Trundo being the champion, and they know that if they let him sit back, then he knows how to play like that. And they are not letting him get away with it. So, like, his reputation is killing him. Trundo needs hidden Rang of Fire. This both red and green not really having a plan, so they just stick to originally the 2v1 Trundo. Yeah, it's looking like it. Their plan might have been to 2v1 Trundo from the start because they know how strong of a player he is when he's left to sit back and boom up. And they're just not letting... Like, Newbie seems to have his Q point set inside of Trundo's base. Trundo needs to use the chat box? Yeah, he needs to convince them to turn on each other. Like, actually, he needs to make them understand the meta. Like, hey, you know you guys are playing off meta right now, right? And then when NoobOntheLoose replies like, yeah, I just want to kill the person who sniped my king again. LOL. And then you go, oh, like it's one of these people. And then you have to play it like they're a wild card. You don't like Green's second castle? What, up on this hill? Or this one over here? This one is for securing the king. It could have been over here, though. Or here. Would have been nice, but I don't know if he could have been able to get that up. Trundo kind of owns the middle hill. He does have 24 knights. I think in theory, if were Trundo to dive in here, he could kill red. It depends on how many conversions red got with those monks. And there's enough walls. And there is a palisade splitting that, it looks like. This is an interesting game. This has been a really interesting set. Trundo's going to sit back and do his Trundo thing, which means making 9 bajillion paladin. Oh, does he dive? Does he dive? He's going to lose 4 knights? No knights. No knights lost. Everybody's got monks against Trundo. Trundo, go Cav Archers. Qwyt hits Imp. Ooh, that's bad news for Trundo. I wonder if Qwyt is going to push out against green or blue. Or be passive. Were the monk snipes worth it? Maybe. We're going to push a green off of that. Maybe Trundo's going to drop another castle? Check green's gold. Oh my god. Green has so much gold. They could just click up to Imp if they bought food. They have snatched up so much of the map's gold, though. Red's throwing a castle down right where it would have been good for Trundo to try and run in, but 9 monks is a lot of monks. Green's going to try and convert a few knights here. We could, like, ballista Ellie chop around. What's Red's line of sight look like? I see Red grabbing a relic. We'll check relic count, too. You could almost ballista chop to the king, but not quite. Trundo. If you went through Trundo's base, you could. Trundo, speaking of, I thought it was going to move out. Don't think Red can beat Green ever. If you make, like, 3 trebuchets and then pop them and then hit that, or 4 trebuchets, you could, like, snipe the castle. That might work. Of significance to note, the only civ on this map, on this game, with bombard cannons, are the Spanish. So, even if Trundo loses these castles, he's going to be in a lot less dire of a position than either of the other 2 players if they lose their castles. I'm also a little confused that Trundo has decided to not make conks. I feel like conks would have been good. I don't know. Trundo says to Green, you need to do something. Noob says yes. I am doing something. Being scared. Noob, you are so frustrating. So frustratingly unmeta. Oh my goodness. It might secretly be the best strat, though, because it throws your opponents off pretty hugely. Ooh, diving the monks, diving the monks. If we can get like 3 of the monks, we can take the fight. Okay, this is a good fight for blue. Oh, I don't know. Are they all going to get more conversions? I thought we were going to break through there, and we're not. Nope, good fight for blue. Eagles are coming over, though. Got to be careful. Are they elite? Not elite yet. We sniped the Trebs. We buy a lot of time. And is Trundo going to die? Trundo's going to dive. Trundo is going to dive. Where's the king? This is closed. King is Stonewalls. Going down on the king will stop the push from Trundo. That's the issue with trying to snipe kings with melee units. This is why I'm confused at the lack of conquistadors. Yeah. And the Cavalier are trapped. And the Cavalier are not passing any good. And the Eagles have the surrounds on the Cavalier. And they're all just slowly dying. Trundo's going to lose his mass. That's devastating for Trundo. He's going to lose his entire army here. There's one knight that got through, but it's not going to... It can't get to the king. Quite throwing down some extra walls just to make sure. Cavalier mass ended up not doing terribly, actually. They broke out of their shell a bit. Still completely wiped out by the Eagles, though. Really unfortunate for Trundo. I really wish Trundo had conquistadors. Spanish get Onager, right? Trundo says he will win easy now. Yep, green did nothing, by the way. Green said that they are doing something and then did nothing. Green is throwing hard. Trundo at least made a stab. If Trundo had killed Qwyt, might have had a chance of taking on NoobOntheLoose. On my way slowly. Trundo has no gold. That's correct. Noob snatched up a ton of the gold. This was the gold. Trundo's secondary gold. Red's gonna take it. Noob, you need to do something. Oh my god. The Eagles are just gonna annihilate this. Why are we making helms? And we're just gonna let the castle die? After the banger of the first 2 games? This is how it's gonna end? Oh my god. Oh my god! All the Scorpions are being sniped by the trebuchets. Oh, guys, guess what? I'm actually being told by my producer that we've obtained exclusive footage from this match. It's a special alternative angle of this match. We now go live to this special alternative angle from this match. Yes.
Emotional, damn it!
This I'm gonna get a hernia from this match, man. What do we want?
Bruh.
PogChamp? PogChamp? Oh my god! Hey, the Eagles showed up, guys. Hey, but it might all be worth it. If only we were to research treason with our 1,600 gold! God! Just walk over there and shoot the king! Why are you fighting the cavalier? Shoot the king! Oh my... I can't take this. I cannot take this. Why? I cannot. I cannot fucking even. I can't.
Right to jail, right away.
Oh my goodness.
It's still good, it's still good.
It's good.
I know.
If red wins Ring of Fire, Trundo has gone Hussar. Trundo's been left to his own devices long enough that he's no longer completely dead. But he does not have any good gold units, quite frankly. He's in danger of just being wiped out by the Eagle Mass. The problem is, I think if red tries to all in Trundo, they might lose. Trundo has enough Cavalier to make this a really bad fight for these Eagles. And if he can just, like, spam enough Hussar, he might still be okay. Did he even see the king there? I don't know. He was chopping there. Why didn't he research treason? He has 1,600 gold. It's all gone. Where did it even go? What did you spend it on? Was it on the 20 monks? God. Why do we have 2,000 gold of monks in front of a... Why? Why are we making hubs? I can't even, man. I can't even. I cannot even. I cannot even. I cannot even. Scorpions. Okay, he's got 17 of them. So he refreshed his scorpion supply. If he could get to like 30 heavy scorp, then he'd be close to unkillable. But but the problem is, I say close to because one of the only units that would kill him would be like upgraded elite eagles with 100 HP that the Mayan player has. Those will kill a mass of scorpions. So you're literally making the two things that the Mayans... Oh, this is just like Mayan... Waiting to die to Mayans, the army. Like coming to theaters this Saturday. We have... Where's my button? Coming to theaters this Saturday. We have the only army in the world that dies to everything the Mayan player currently has. My dad. Plebism, why are you linking my own stream on my stream? That's streamception. You missed. Hold on. I got a useful link for you too. Hold on. This is a very important web. You guys should write this down on a piece of paper and keep it by your computer, okay? Useful tip. You don't have to use Bing anymore. What's wrong with Bing? I use Bing. I mean, Bing's mostly only good for I know.
Right to jail, right away.
Wait, does Bing actually have ChatGPT? Am I is that
But why?
But why? In the near future. So it doesn't have it now. That's the important thing. What does ChatGPT say to do when your opponent has 40 Khmer Scorpions? Does it say to make a bunch of Mayan eagles? Ah, yes. Nubia has gone with the spread formation. This guarantees that as many scorpions as possible will be killed by his enemy's castle. This is a very interesting strategic decision. Meanwhile, Trundo and Qwyt are trying to have a game of Age of Empires 2. I don't know what's going on there. The game is so cluttered. Trundo has learned from his mistakes and he's made some cav archers. Scorps versus castle. Stay tuned. Oh god, that's so many Hussar in the back of Red's base. Trundo's half Hussar. is half the his economy is all Hussar. He needs to get. How are you gonna get there? That's crazy. This house has 40 scorpions shooting at it. Pardon me, 18 scorpions. Now, I don't know about you, but if my house had 1 scorpion, I'd probably be calling it quits. It's the reason I don't live in Australia. Is that gonna die? Are we gonna repair it? Are we gonna repair with more than 1 bill? A non-metapod. That's pretty good. And that's a quality joke. Our king is really exposed. If red goes this way, blue's in trouble. Nice. We've had some quality memes from chat today, I gotta say. Ever since I called the one person out for trying to be a butt with memes, it's been so good. Look how many scorpions are on 1 tile. It's like a machine gun. Oh my god. Is NoobOntheLoose gonna win this game with a bajillion scorps? That's terrifying. Boo says that is a good strat. Yes, sit back and then make a really OP unit that doesn't make sense unless you have 90 of them. And then make 90 of them. This is a great call. 10 out of 10 strat. He should make even more scorpions, right? Right, chat? What's the elo? Boom. Thanks, Timbry. Elos are now posted up at the top. I forgot them. Qwyt says, no, I'm fine with dying. As long as you win. So what, he just wants to take Trundo out? What a mess. Trundo, you're not going to be able to pit your opponents against each other. You're going to have to find a way to win. I don't know what that is, but you're going to have to find it out. Is green going to hit blue? Where are these? Where are the scorpions going? The scorpions are on the move. And Trundo's going to lose something that's been plaguing humanity for as long as we've had civilization. Politics. And now we're going to find out how many Hussar and Cavalier does it take to wipe out 41 Khmer Scorpions. And the showdown of the century. Red's going to push green. Red's going to push green. Ooh. What a mess. Red's hitting green. Green's hitting blue. Blue is trying to not die. We need one bombard cannon. We need precisely one bombard cannon. Look at those scorpions go! Oh my god. No gold for bombard cannons? He's got fourth. What is it? No, wait, that's Trundo. Oh, maybe Trundo actually can't afford that. Oh no. Like he couldn't even if he wanted to. Crap. Green and red are still working together? Just to take Trundo. They're just taking the champion out. I just don't understand what green is doing. Green is gaming. Yeah, I don't know what green's strategy was this match at all. Other than to like be am I green? Exactly. And now green's going to split their army and lose all of it. And it's going to kill blue. Green could decide who wins this game, but they aren't even deciding who's going to win the game. They're literally just flailing wildly.
I'm in danger.
You know when you have like a pillow fight with like, you know, all your friends? And you're like you're hitting each other with the pillows. And then one of them people's little kid sister shows in and she just starts spinning around in the room like full speed with her fists outstretched in the middle of the pillow fight. That's Noob on the Loose.
Fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it, fix it.
That's Noob on the Loose.
Fix it, fix it.
They're just sticking their fists out and they're spinning in circles and hitting anything that gets near to them. Blue is super snipeable right now. You have like a little sneaky snipe path and everything right to Blue's king. Red is really protected. Why? Do we get a refund for the A-boy if there's a moderator here? I think the A-boy's but why got canceled by Lucena Kossaganakis. Normally I could make it pop up myself, but Trundo is top pop at the moment, yes.
Okay, we all go together.
Yeah, why is but why broken?
Yeah! Parkour, parkour! Parkour! I'm right behind you, Andy! Come on! Yeah!
Why is but why broken? But why?
Parkour.
But why?
Alright, I fixed it. Is Noob gonna snipe Blue's king? There's Hussar right here. This is open. The 40 heavy scorpions are still ticking. Noob on Loose's king is threatened by Trundo? What? Dangerously close did Trundo get to taking green out. That would have been pretty huge for Trundo at this point. Can he get the cav archers in, guys? Oh, this is all stone-walled so perfectly. This is open, actually. Technically, you could get the cav archers in right now. I don't know if he would let you do.
Well, we're boned.
No idea what to do. Yeah, this is a definitely a conundrum. This is a crazy game. That's twice Trundo would have had a king snipe if he'd had conks. Yep. Let's kill blue together. He is the reigning champ.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
But if we wins, we get another. If he wins, we get another game. Oh my god. But it's late. Oh god. Red says, and I can't really win this one. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe if you're quite, you prefer Trundo to. You definitely prefer Trundo to win this over NoobOntheLoose. So it would make sense for red to hit green, right? So red should try to all in green. It might actually make the most meta sense for blue and red to all in NoobOntheLoose because of this Scorp mass. On the other hand, I'm very, 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 very confident that were Trundo to make a single bombard cannon, that Noob would struggle to micro his 45 conks against one bombard. Trundo says to NoobOntheLoose, go there. Noob says, no. Looks like Trundo let the plumes in, though. Let him pass through the front of his base without attacking. And the plumes are going to break into green. Trundo's throwing down some preemptive walls to try and keep the distance from these plumes, from his king. And he's brought the scorpions back. And what is Trundo going to do? Trundo should send his hussar at the scorps. Oh, God. These plumes are going to get annihilated. They stand no choice. No chance at all. There's one-shotted. Okay, but the hussar in on the scorpions. The hussar in on the scorps here. We only need one plume to make it. And the hussar took out a ton of scorpions. Not all of them, but a ton of them. I think that was a good call from Trundo, not sending the Cavalier. Keep those gold units alive. This is a very... Now we're in a very methodical chess-like game. Cav archers from either player, just... if they could get there, would end it. Noob's still holding this hill, even without a castle. There's 64 stone in that mine. Red, no gold. Oh yeah, relics. Relics are key here. Green has 3, red has 2, Trundo has none. Ooh. Spanish without gold, definitely struggle. But they get fully upgraded skirms, they get fully upgraded hussar. And in theory, they might be able to trade. If red and blue really were dedicated to taking green out of the game, then they could start up trade. I think red's in the best position here. Because blue is fairly weak. Doesn't have relics. And green is the more beatable of the two opponents. Although in this position, maybe not. Qwyt has to decide if they... I mean, Qwyt can decide if they want to hand the set to NoobOntheLoose or not. This is a stalematey game. This is so stalematey, I'm considering running to the bathroom. Who do you think is the most likely to try and snipe someone else's king while I run to the bathroom? Or should I pause? Because I'm not gonna make it another 5 minutes. I'm dying.
Wipe yourself off, man. You dead.
You think blue? Trundo is the most capable of performing the snipe. Do we still have our cav archers alive? He still has these super critical cav archers. New hat. The first new hat of the day. What upgrade did we just get? What? Yeah, if blue kills green, blue will probably lose. Because red has enough relics that they can make eagles. Enough eagles to mass back up. How can this take this long on this map? Yeah, for real. Turns out Socotra is a bit of a wall fest. Mayans Pike Skirm. Oh yeah, they have the whatchamacallit skirms. The extra shot on their skirmishers. Green communicating red. What is your plan now? There's no planning this. I don't know what to do. Let me think. If I'm in green's position, let me think. If I'm in green's position, I think I pick one of the two enemies and attack them. I think I attack red if I'm green. Because I don't care if Trundo wins, but I don't want red to win. So if I'm green, I attack red. If I'm red, same reason. I attack green. I don't care if Trundo wins. I care that the other player doesn't win. That's the correct meta decision. Blue is doing the best possible thing ever, which is sitting back, banking resources, and letting his opponents try to fight each other. So that he can swoop in for the win. Trundo knows exactly what to do. He's frustrated because his opponents are playing off meta, and he's hoping that eventually they'll figure it out. Yeah, they have to kill green or he'll win. They also have to kill... And then, like, green and red should be attacking each other, guys. No one knows what to do. This is a... standoff. No. All right, well, they're in a stalemate and discussing. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Chat, did I miss anything? The vision I have of Grath trying to PS. No, don't picture that. Just think about flowers. Nope. Nah, it's still the same. Blue's king slightly more exposed. Okay, so who do you think is the most frustrated, chat? Trundo, qwyt, or NoobOntheLoose? I think NoobOntheLoose is just like... And then qwyt, me. Definitely me. And then qwyt is just like... And then Trundo is just... That's the three players right now. Did I do a good job? and then chat is just fucking just. I'm mostly frustrated that that only one. Oh, you know what's interesting, guys? Red's the only one that could research Treason right now. Okay, wait. Did we move the king? Thank goodness. Red's the only one with the castle to research Treason at. Actually pretty critical. Blue has scary army. Yeah, blue has 150 army. Blue is almost in a position where they could take both of the opponents out, guys. And I wonder if that's Trundo's plan. Is, you know what? I'm going to make a whole bunch of siege rams. Okay, I'm so rooting for Trundo here, guys. I'm 100%. I am on the Trundo train. All right. I am on the Trundo train. I want Trundo to complete the comeback. I want Trundo in the finals. I want last year's champion to still be in it. Because Madri has sneakily found a way back into the tournament. As he wasn't sneaky, but he is back in the tournament because we had to DQ another player. And then Kapach was going to fill in, and Kapach can't make it. So we've got Madri back in the tournament. I haven't actually heard from him to confirm that he's available, but I'm assuming he is. And that would be our other Wrang of Fire. Reason I'm talking about Madri is that's our other Wrang of Fire 2 champion. That's Wrang of Fire 2 champion is Madri. Wrang of Fire 3 was Trundo. Wow, Mayan skirms are not that bad against Scorps. Yeah, those have what are they called? The double firing skirms. I just want to see green attack red. I just want to see green attack red. I just want to see green attack red, guys. That's all I want. That's all I want in this life. We need it. Chat needs it. The tournament needs green to attack red. We need it. Please, NoobOntheLoose, please. One and a half hour Sokotra game, yep. David, the not so great darling. How's it going? First time viewing. Love this game. Playing it since Age of Empires first came out. Well, welcome. We're casting a free-for-all tournament with a mixture of people from the community and pros. This game is all three are like low elo players. We got like a 1400, a 1300. We got like two 1400s and an 1100 elo. And starting elo is like 1,000. And the pros are up around like 2,800. To give you some idea of the gap spread, the skill gap spread in the tournament. This format it specializes in bridging the gap. Ooh, green was going to try to tower drop the king. So Noob at least trying something here. And we actually have a special mode here, David. This is ungarrisonable kings. So normally you could take your king and like put him in a castle, but in this mode there was a glitch last summer where kings couldn't be garrisoned, so we made a whole tournament around it called the King Snipe Cup. And then I brought it back for this tournament, which is my annual free-for-all tournament that I run. So welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoy. Welcome anybody else that's new that's checking me out. We're gonna try to be pro caster. Or like, I don't know, as long as I can try to do it. We'll try and go. My goal is to have 4 A-tier tournaments this year. This is the first one. Qwyt says, why I didn't attack you earlier. I don't know who he's talking to, but... You took my castles and my staff. Blue went to the bathroom. Blue's chilling, man. Blue's chilling. They've got 150 army that's fully upgraded.
Emotional, damn it.
They've got siege rams. They're just waiting for the opportunity. In an ideal world for Trundo, he's sitting exactly the way he's sitting right now when one of the players snipes the other one's king, and then he just all-ins the other one. Green has 50 Scorps protecting his king, though. And this is quite a stalemate. I've seen some stalemates in Wrang of Fire. This is the exact thing that the regicide mode is meant to break up. This is exactly why we have the Snipeable Kings, is to try and stop this from happening. Now, to the players' credits, we've had a lot of attempts on king sniping at this game. It's not been like players not trying to snipe each other at all. It's mostly has come down to green playing in a very confusing way, which is just completely just bogged the game down. Which, to green's credit, is to their favor. That definitely is what green needs to have happen, is to play this in a way that just is unconventional, because they need the game to go in an unconventional way to win as the low elo. But NoobOntheLoose has no army. Do we still have stables? Why are we making Hussar? Dude, make Hussar. You have 3,000 food. Make Hussar. Put them in front of your Scorps. Slow push with C-Shram. Don't just... Why are we sitting still? Even Blue's just like, all right, I got to do something. This is nothing is happening. And the problem with going down to 50 vils like Trundo has done is that means red is sucking up all the extra res. Like, look at the wood difference here. And the wooden food bank alone for qwyt. Green goes full defense and hope the other one gets... I'm very frustrated with Noobie. All right? But not in a way that's, like, actually angry. It's more just like caster's frustration, not like, you know, human frustration. It's just like, God, what is happening? But he's just doing his strat. His strat is to play defensive. He knows that if he moves out against either of his opponents, he dies. What I want to see is this slow push continue forever. Like, forever. And I want to see if Trundo gets the relics back. Ooh. Ooh, that could change things significantly. Trundo with gold. Trundo with gold. How's our king? King's protect. This is open. Chat. We've seen this before. This is open. This is open. It looks like it's closed. It's not. Socotra is, like, notorious for this. We've seen this over and over and over again. That is open. When you're on Socotra, you have to make sure you're walled to the edge. It's very, very easy to do this. Green turns blue. I'm basically dead. Want a team? Bro! Just do something! Oh my god! Look, you don't want... At least this is the right thing. This is the right thing. Attack red. Attack red. Because if red wins, then you're out of the tournament, noob, on the loose. You have to attack red. Please. 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 Attack red. Please. Please. Please attack red. Please. Why? 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 Is it just because he took your relics? They're not using them? What are you... You're not using them anyways. He has a monk right there. Oh my god. The world's most confusing game continues. And this confusing game is brought to you by Crab Bomb. Tired of your crab not having that smooth, wonderful texture you love? Try Crab Bomb. Just don't say that on a plane. You think it's time to fast forward? Okay, now Jicky. You've been around Wrang of Fire since the very beginning, my dude. What is the one thing we never do? What is the one thing we never do, Jicka Jam? Alright? You can't tell me that I sat through 6 hours of MBL rebooming from a single vill to skip through this game. Someone said Treason? I don't see Treason. Red has so much res. Yeah, they're going to be tough to stop at this point. But so is Green. Green has 42 Commerce Scorps. The only thing that could stop that is like 90 Hussar, which are right here. You're sniping precious gold. Wait, do I see a bombard? Did I see a bombard cannon? Bog. We have a bombard on the field. It's already mostly dead. You think the next Ring of Fire should be forest nothing only? There you go, Ross. Get out of here with that suggestion right now. It's not on Capture Age. It is on Capture Age. Dreesen will show on Capture Age. Oh, it might not because of this mode? I have 50 pop. Basically last chance. I wonder if Trundo's going to regret not teaming up with NoobOntheLoose here. Because Qwyt has quite a lead. Quite frankly. Owning half of the map. And the skirms are almost ARBs with the extra fire. The extra missile they fire. Like they're basically doing like 14 damage a shot. They won't do too bad against the Scorps. Plus, Qwyt can afford to just feed the skirms a little bit as long as he masses them up first. Trundo has to attack red now if he wants to win. Yep. How you doing, Johnny? Qwyt says hit now to Trundo. Trundo, you should hit red now. No! Why are the players playing so off meta? Why? Hit red! Red! Hit red! Hit red! God! You gotta hit red! Where are the Cav Archers? He's open! Just run in! Hit red! You have chance. Hit. Please. Please, Trundo. Do the thing that is the right decision. Scorps are dead. No, Noob fed his Scorps. Ah, it's GG. I can't see Qwyt not winning this game now. Trundo needs to snipe red now. Now. Cannot wait. Has to be now. Has to be now. Green. I'm so frustrated right now. Trundo does. I don't even know if Trundo knows what to do now. Green has just been so fucking unreliable. Literally hitting the market. Green is actually dead. Only dead because his king hasn't been killed at this point. Only not dead because his king hasn't been killed. Still has relics. Trundo has a market to trade with. He's trying to keep it alive from the bombard hitting it. Trundo notices. And Trundo sends his king out. That's the why. Noob. That's... Trundo doesn't have ballistics. Oh my god. There's no ballistics for Trundo's skirms that he has. Red queues up 200 halves. Trundo's got to hope the Siege Ram Skirm Hussar Mass gets this done. Mind Player only has 50 army. Trundo has 134, so it's not out of the question. But my God. Trundo basically has to push through all of Red's base or the game will end very, very shortly. I wonder if he'll just, if he can't quite, he's not going to range that with skirms or cav archers. He's going to have to push through or snipe. And the opportunity for sniping is passed. Red should go just try to snipe their king. Do we have anything? I'll just send the trebs even. Still could go either way, but it's going to be leaning towards red here soon. The army is piling up. We're up to 70 units here. 40 of those double firing skirms and 20 halbs in front. Even got some plumes making their way into the mix. Trundo needs this push to work. Has got to keep this like well-built army mass. He's got more Hussar and Q. He's only got 11 farmers and 500 more food, so this push has to work now. He's got to get this castle. He's got to get units back there, and it's got to work now. And he's gonna take out these trebs, and that's gonna hurt red. But red's gonna have stronger post-imp units. The cav archers are trying to dive in. Trundo's gonna take a stab at finding Qwyt's king. The cav archers can't break in. He still does not have ballistics. The lack of ballistics is really bad. He's trying to break in. If he gets through this palisade, oh, red re-walled behind and the halbs come back. Those were critical cavalry archers. Now Trundo's best hope is to get skirms in. Don't forget this one absolutely critical bombard cannon. Trundo is slowly dying right here. And the halb spam from Qwyt will be enough on its own, I think. Like the halbs with the skirms behind. Trundo's army's dropping. Trundo's pop is dropping. This all-in has failed. And I have a feeling we're going to see the reigning Wrang of Fire champion out of the tournament in a moment. And boy, is Trundo got to be frustrated. Down goes the last bombard. This game's over, guys. He has one more bombard in queue. He could make a stab at a last-ditch snipe. But I don't even know how that would work at this point. He snuck up to the skirm. He snuck his skirms. He could get the skirms north. He could send the skirms north. Around and snipe the king, maybe. He'd sent the cav archers there. No, he popped the bombard. Oh, it's over. Trundo calls GG. And we are going to have a new champion here at Wrang of Fire 4 as our reigning champion Trundo has gone out here in the round of 27. Qwyt is through to the round of 9 on a 2-hour Socotra game. Wow. Crazy game. Look at the KD for Trundo. Look at the KD for NoobOntheLoose with 200 more kills than deaths. Qwyt, though, with the worst KD is going to win. What a mess. What a mess of a game of Age of Empires 2. Look how dead Trundo was. What a mess. Qwyt comes through the victory. Noob is the champion of our hearts. No. Noob. It's not. Okay, maybe. Okay, maybe. That was a pretty glorious game. Some legendary moments here. And in this set, considering it was 3 1400 or unders, this was quite these guys put on a show. And, you know, that's all you can really ask is that level of entertainment out of 1400s is very, very, very considerable. So thanks to all three of the players in this set. This was a great piece of Age of Empires 2 content to get to cast. But Qwyt is going to win this one in 3. And we're actually seeing that a bit more often this tournament is the wins in 3 games. It's been traditionally, it takes either 2 games or 4 games, but this year we seem to be getting quite a bit of these 3 games.